Action.
Monkey man.
Make way for the monkey man. Yeah, that's the best one.
Welcome back to Coming This Summer. Monkey Man, Patel, Jordan Peele produced movie.
Not James Gunn.
Would you call this like an indie film? I would probably. You know what I mean? It's not a big budget movie.
Like a bigger budget indie film.
Okay.
You're right. It's not like a gigantic.
Like John Wick was an indie film, the first one.
Yeah, more or less.
Considered an indie film. Yeah,
Was
until
it
it blew the fuck up.
Yeah, the budget on that one was nothing. The first
Nothing.
one, 15 million,
Yeah.
20 million.
This is basically John Wick, but worse, I'm going to say. And it doesn't make the movie bad. It's just like to compare it.
It's John Wick inspired for sure.
They have a John Wick reference.
Yeah.
There's a scene where our main character goes to buy guns, and he's like, this is the gun from the movie, John Wick. Do you want it? He's like, no, I want something better than that gun. I'm like, what? Why would you make the conscious decision to shit on a movie that you're ripping off, more or less?
Same. It was like Lionsgate, too. So I don't understand. I know it was like Universal produced, but like I'm pretty sure it was a Lionsgate movie.
Just make it in the world.
And it felt like it was in that world anyway.
He could have gone to like, they set up in other John Wick movies, there's Continentals
Yeah.
all over the place.
Like, we want to recruit you.
Yeah.
At the end,
At
they
the
could
end,
have been.
do a Transformers Rise of the Beast G.I. Joe scene.
They never do those
Like,
cheesy things in movies like this.
You get, what the fuck, Ian McShane. And he just shows up, and he like gives him a card.
You don't even have to have him say anything.
Yeah.
You just hand him a card and have him keep walking, and then he's looking at the card and
Or some random guy on the street hands him an envelope, and he opens it, and it's a Continental card.
with a coin.
With a coin. Oh, dude, that would have made this movie a fucking 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like, literally.
Because it had those vibes.
It did.
It did have John Wick vibes throughout the movie. A little bit of Batman, The Dark Knight Rises vibes
Yeah.
on the cheese side there.
Yeah. It's basically John Wick if instead of a dog, it was his entire village got burned down. So it's
like a more justified John Wick.
The stakes are a little bit more believable than like they killed my pet beagle, my puppy. Like I relate.
I was going to say, no, wait a minute.
I got that. Yeah, the whole town's gone. Yeah, just off the face of the earth. I liked watching the movie. I don't think I'll ever watch it again.
Yeah.
I don't
okay.
It's a revenge story. The plot is a police chief burned down his village on orders of a spiritual leader who's trying to maintain his power.
Baba.
Whatever. Baba something.
It makes
Baba
you feel.
Yaga,
It makes you feel John Wicky. I'm telling you.
Wicky.
You know,
Yeah.
it's really funny.
It's just in a different country.
And he's got to go beat the almighty Baba. I cannot remember the name because then he's got to like find a replacement Baba and all this.
Right. So I don't know. I liked it. I liked where this movie started more than where it ended.
Yes,
I think.
the end was.
It's too rushed.
The end was like the original John Wick ending.
Yeah.
Where, without spoiling too much, there is basically a nice one-on-one, you know, you're going to knuckle fight. You know, I'm going to beat you to death with my knuckles situation. And is he going to die? Am I like how John Wick crawls and you're like, he's going It's very similar to the way they ended John Wick. I won't say how it completely ends because you know what I mean.
It's very similar.
But it's very similar. And the movie, so I mean, it feels like
it's definitely inspired. This movie would not have existed if John Wick wasn't.
Yes, I agree 100%.
Just like Beekeeper wouldn't have existed if John Wick wasn't a thing. Like
Beekeeper still so far as we already towards the middle of April.
In this trailer, painted it like
Very
it was going to
similar.
be a beekeeper.
Beekeeper was different because you actually had a hero go in, justifiably do the things he did, and never once was in doubt. It was just a fun movie. Like, oh, this guy's badass. He's going to beat everybody, and he's going to do it in fun, creative ways.
Right. This movie is like if Jason Statham, The Rock, and Vin Diesel didn't have the I can't lose in their contract. This is what would happen. You'd get your ass handed to you for the first 45 minutes.
Yeah, he just gets...
Basically die, and then get superpowers by the end of the fucking movie. That's the
More or
plot.
less.
Like,
More
the
or
movie
less.
is going... When it finally pops off, it pops off for about 20 minutes, and then smash cut to we killed our momentum for this movie. Just ruined.
It was weird.
The momentum for the movie, and then it's like, I don't know. It was kind of all over the place. They do these like fist fight scenes where he's like in the ring with people, which is like a C plot to this fucking story we're in.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I would have focused on.
I was going to say...
Like, that's the cool shit.
The training and the fighting and the stuff is really cool. Cinematically, the movie is shot really well.
It's beautiful, yeah. It's acted really well. It's just the plot's all over the place.
Yeah, the end, I don't like... The end knocks the movie down a good... I get what they're going for. I'm trying not to spoil the ending.
To spoil it, yeah.
I get what they're trying to do, but it just didn't... To me, it didn't work for this revenge story.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
We sound negative, but I'm not trying to.
No,
'cause
and I
it's
don't
like,
think it's a
yeah,
bad movie.
it's
I think
fine,
most
it's
people
fine.
will enjoy this style of movie. If you enjoy this style of movie, you'll probably enjoy this movie.
There was like, it was gonna be put on Netflix, right?
Yeah, they were just gonna dump the movie until.
Which I kind of agree with, because like it's not a theater movie. There's literally
but
no
it
reason to go watch
definitely
this in a movie
feels
theater.
better than, and I don't mean to be insultive towards Netflix. I mean that as us working on things. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't mean to sound
It's a higher
negative,
caliber,
but
than
it
to just dump
definitely feels like a studio, like
Yeah.
a theater movie.
Well,
You're right. There's
Jordan
nothing
Peele
in
can-
it
Yeah,
to make you go, I gotta see this in IMAX.
right. It's not even in IMAX.
No, that's what
wish
I
it
mean. There's
was.
nothing
Yeah,
like
there's
that.
No,
But
no,
it
no, no.
definitely feels like a bigger
Yeah, it was
movie than
it
a
was good.
Netflix
I don't
movie.
recommend going to see it in theaters.
I would
till
wait
it drops on Netflix. Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna give it a 6.5, which is pretty generous. I thought the fighting was really good.
The fighting was great.
That scene where he's in the bathroom just getting his ass handed to him, I
Mhm.
was like, what is happening? I'm like,
Is this the end
can
of the
he
movie?
not fight?
Yeah.
Like, can he not fight? Why are we watching this? And then he's like getting chased by the police and shit. I'm like,
No, that's what I mean. Like, there was a lot of cool stuff, but it just didn't hit all the way. I'll give it a 6 out of 10.
okay, that's fair.
I didn't
feels
hate
like-
it. I didn't.
It feels like they didn't have like a complete story, and they just kept like writing the next scene
Mhm.
as they went. You know what I mean? And then they reached that point where the
Yeah.
movie comes to a screeching fucking halt, and you fly through the windshield because you didn't have your fucking
That's-
seatbelt on. Like,
It felt like they had a cool idea in mind.
yeah.
And they're like, this is how we want it to end. And
Yeah,
almost
it
like
doesn't matter how we get there.
It
doesn't matter how we get there. We're gonna go all over the place. All right, I think we're done talking about this one. It's not really much to
Monkey
discuss.
Man.
Monkey Man.
Eh.
Monkey meh.
Monkey meh. Nailed it.
Monkey Man. Yeah.
For the most part, the cast is decent, but not as good as the original cast. Although I did like this version's Katie, Angourie Rice, who's in Spider-Man. She's Betty in the MCU Spider-Man movies. She was great. I thought she killed it as Katie. Most of the cast was really good. I don't think the 3 main girls, Regina, Karen, Gretchen, I didn't think they were as good as the